All right, we went to see The Northman. It's the new film from Robert Eggers, known for most recently directing The Lighthouse. And this movie is filled with testosterone. That's my first takeaway.
Going into it, I figured it was going to be pretty barbaric and
It was.
somewhat over the top. It was definitely barbaric.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was over the top. Maybe some scenes it fit that, but I don't know. It was interesting.
Yeah, we both liked it. We showed up a little late to the theater. It was a bit of a chaotic day for Nico. Do you wanna explain what you went through to get us to the theater?
So I may or may not be somewhat decent at Photoshop. I may or may not occasionally get paid to make artwork for a musician.
You guys should hire him. All the aspiring SoundCloud rappers that are listening to this podcast, you know who you are.
Please don't. I don't want to work with SoundCloud
CK
rappers.
in the stew?
No. I hope CK is not listening to this. I don't think he cares. Anywho, I was asked to make a last-minute change 2 hours before a deadline, and my girlfriend was at work and accidentally had my laptop in her backpack.
She stole your goddamn laptop.
No, not quite. But she had my laptop, and the movie just happened to be starting within 30 minutes of the time I needed to get my laptop, make a change, and go watch the movie.
So did they get back to you just super last minute with like, hey,
we're changing the title?
Yeah, was it like we went to see the movie at 1:30? Did they just tell you at like 1 o'clock?
Just about.
Okay, yeah.
12:57 or something, and I was just kind of standing there shitting my pants, like I can't find my laptop to make this change. And
But see how dedicated you are. See how dedicated of an artist you are. This is why all of our listeners need to hire you.
Money. I want my money. That's why.
I understand that you need to be hired.
I can make good art, I think, but I need my money first at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's like you can't upload an image with a title that's not the same as the actual song title. So it's like,
yeah, I mean,
that would also make me look stupid because it would be like, how did you get the title wrong?
The bottom line is you got it done, and we made it to the theater. We were, I think, only 5 minutes late to the actual film. We didn't miss any important plot points. But I will say, walking into the theater was terrifying.
It was so dark.
It was dark.
Okay. So the whole film is very, very dark. Like it's visually,
most of it, yeah.
Visually, aesthetically dark. Like you cannot see certain things in certain scenes.
So that made it a nightmare to walk to the seats.
We happened to walk in when it's pitch black. I turned my phone on with like the low brightness.
That didn't help.
And I couldn't see anything in front of me. I was like, oh God.
Yeah, I tripped on the stairs on the way up. That was terrifying. I tripped but I got to my seat and we got in, hopefully not disturbing that many people in the theater.
Who cares, man?
Yeah.
We got in, they got in, we all watched the movie.
We got in and we saw the beginning, and so here's the plot synopsis. It's a Viking movie. You can probably tell that if you've seen the trailers. It's pretty epic. That's like kind of the tone it's going for. Pretty violent. And the main character, what's his name again? Amleth.
It sounds like Hamlet.
Yeah, his dad, played by Ethan Hawke, is murdered at the beginning of the film. I don't think this is too much of a spoiler, right?
Mm-mm. It's in the trailers.
Yeah, so he's murdered at the beginning of the film, and basically from there it's just a revenge story. That's the movie. He is this very burly, jacked man who...
He's huge.
He's huge in this movie.
I don't know. No, like, he's also physically just very tall. I don't know how tall he is, but he's gigantic over a bunch of people.
Impressive, the whatever physical routine that the actors went through for this movie, because they looked huge and they looked like Vikings. This is the thing with Robert Eggers that from The Lighthouse, I can tell he's very good at. He nails sort of like the historical accuracy of like time and place that he's going for. And with The Lighthouse, he did that both visually and through the material. And I think he did that in this. I mean, allegedly he did. I'm not a Viking expert.
That's what I was telling you about in the car. Allegedly, from some interview, he did have a bunch of historians on hand so that they could fact check things and create a realistic environment.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much was actually real. whatever. It seemed pretty natural.
I mean, I choose to believe that Bjork was around during Viking times, so I think the casting of Bjork for this movie
that was so bad.
was fantastic.
That's something we're not gonna do again.
Bjork. I like Bjork's music. I was telling Nico about this. So when I found out she was in the movie, she was really good. Really small role, but she plays a witch.
She was the witch, right?
Yeah. Okay, she plays a witch in this movie. But yeah, historical accuracy through like sort of ritual stuff, and I guess probably the look of the villages and costumes and attire and that stuff. Like, apparently people are calling this the most accurate Viking movie ever, which is cool.
Really?
And I read a headline that said that.
What's your
in
source,
article.
Brother?
I mean,
you made it up.
I made it up. I was seeing things when I was reading about it, but like, it was cool. I mean, some of the rituals and stuff like that are over the top, but like, there are Viking rituals here. There's Viking, violence. There's raping and pillaging of villages, which probably is accurate from what I've read and learned about in Vikings, my very little knowledge that I have. But it was good. Like, the fact that they managed to do that and still make this an entertaining movie, I think is impressive, because it was entertaining. Like, the story was compelling. It was simple, but I thought it was compelling.
Yeah.
Anya Taylor-Joy is a love interest in this movie. For Alexander Skarsgård's character, she plays a character named Olga. She was fantastic. Everything I've seen her in, she's been great. Willem Dafoe is in this. Nicole Kidman is in this. It's kind of a
it's a big cast.
Pretty big cast here for this movie, and they all nailed it. I think everything was well acted. Visually, the movie was really, really cool. There's a lot of interesting stuff. A couple of scenes that we can talk about in spoilers that we really liked. But overall, like, a pretty good movie. I don't know. Do you have any other things you want to say before we get into like negatives? If you have any, like,
I will avenge you, father. I will free you, mother. I will kill you, Fjornar.
Yeah, I imagine that Vikings did that kind of thing just back in the day.
Repeat something nonstop.
Yeah, I mean,
row across the ocean.
Yeah, it's what else are you gonna do? Like, they weren't like reading books or like playing board games. It seems like they
were just like Thor. They would just swing around hammers and go, Odin, Valhalla. And that's all they did.
I don't blame the guy. His father just dies in front of him. Like, you don't think he wants to just, drive his whole life by that? I mean, yeah, he's a very one-dimensional character, I guess. But he was good at that. Like,
no, he was good. I mean, if you are scarred by somebody or from some event like that, watching your father get slain in front of you, it's like, I don't know if you would be a very outgoing person or a very talkative person anyways. So yeah, it fits.
Yeah, this movie is good if you like violence and you like a lot of action and really sort of artfully done action sequences with a lot of blood and gore.
The gore was interesting.
It was a lot. Like, this movie is not for everybody, I think. If you get disturbed by that kind of stuff, I wouldn't go see this. Because there is a lot of blood. There's guts, there's blood, there's plenty of decapitations.
The decapitations looked a bit silly though. I don't know about you. I know that they had to obviously do some sort of tracking or some sort of different image or CGI.
Yeah.
Some of the scenes, it just looked a bit goofy on a couple of them, where like the head just plopped off and it just kind of rolled. But yes,
I think it's hard to do that and not look. Honestly, like, I've seen way worse. worse. So like I wouldn't say that that's a big complaint for me. But still, like, it's a little bit disturbing. This is kind of a gross movie.
Yeah, but it was funny. It was good.
I don't know.
The movie was interesting.
Yeah. I mean, if I were to have to say negatives, I would say, like, it does get caught up in the aesthetics and, like, focused on that a little too much. And, like, there was only really, like, a couple of plot, like, twists and turns that had me, like, hooked. I think other than that, I was more kind of just waiting for the next thing to happen. Like there wasn't really like a lot of
Really?
yeah, I just didn't think, for me, the story like was that interesting. Like it's kind of a predictable Viking story. He
How many Viking stories have you seen?
there are plenty of shows and stuff like that. It's like his father dies. It's like, okay, time to get revenge. Time to fucking, kill all the people that are involved with this. Like it was kind of predictable.
Yeah, but he has to avenge his father.
Yeah,
Have you had to avenge your father?
No.
See, it shows.
My father played the villain in this movie, though.
Oh yeah, muscular Nick's dad.
Yeah, yeah, he looked like my dad a little bit. If my dad was a Viking.
Yeah, how do you feel about that?
He looked great out there. Good job, Dad.
Good job, Dad.
Yeah, good job, Dad.
There you go, Bill.
Yeah, it was just like, I would say the first like hour and a half of this movie. I think it's 2 hours 15 minutes. The first hour and a half of this movie, I was just a little bit like waiting for something to happen, like some new information to be revealed, because the whole movie basically, for that part of it, the first, I would say, like 2 acts, you're just seeing it through the eyes of the main character, yeah,
or whatever his name
yeah.
is.
So like you're seeing it through his eyes, and his eyes are just like, I need to get to this guy and I need to kill him and I need to give him hell, and that's what he does, and it is visually really cool, and it's like exciting and it's well acted, but there wasn't a lot of like spice to keep it interesting for me. Like there were no like new character introductions that really changed the game until a certain point, which I will give it credit for, and we'll talk about that in spoilers. But like I think the third act of this movie actually was probably my favorite part.
Okay.
Just because I think after like the certain turning point in the story, it like kind of, for me, like he has to make some big decisions, and I thought the way that they did that was cool. But the focus of this story was not, or the focus of the movie was not the story. That's what I'll say. Okay. But I don't know. What do you think about that?
That's fair. I thought it was a good film. I didn't know what to expect coming into it.
Yeah.
I was pleasantly, I don't know, surprised, if that's the right word to use here. But I mean, I had a good viewing. I mean, granted, we missed the first 5 minutes. I don't think we missed anything.
Yeah.
I wasn't dying to see this movie or anything. It was just kind of like, oh, it looks good, we can go watch it.
Yeah.
But I thought it was good.
Yeah, I liked it.
We liked the cinematography. We thought that was good.
Yeah, it was really good.
Effects were pretty good for most of it.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah. Do you want to give it a score then?
A score?
Yeah.
I'll give it a 7.3.
Okay. I'm going to go a little higher. I'm going to go with 7.9.
Wow.
Yeah, I liked it. I just like,
I thought you were going to go a lot lower than that.
No, I liked it. I think at a certain point during this movie, I was like, okay, this is just like a really well done Viking action movie, but it needs to give me a little bit more. And I think in the third act, it did give me a little more. And we can get into spoilers now and talk about that if you want to. But those are our scores. Nico gives it a 7.3 out of 10. I give it a 7.9.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for me, I didn't want to bring this up into the 8s just because I think it wasn't fantastic, no. But I thought it was really well done. I thought Speaking it was a really good movie.
We'll need to come up with like a scoring kind of zones, if you will.
Yeah. Like
ranges. We need to establish ranges for what we grade. Well, like what we think is like a great movie, a fantastic, or like good, or like eh.
Yeah. Yeah. We can talk about that.
Because I think a lot of the movies we've watched, I'd say they're all good, but like there are different levels of good.
Which I think for Morbius.
Morbius was fantastic. They made 1 more billion tickets.
I mean,
but yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
We'll at some point have to kind of be like, okay, this is not good, or it's like, this is okay.
For me, if something is like fantastic, I'm going to bring it up into the 9s.
I'm just going to give it a 10 if it's fantastic.
You're going to give it a 10, okay.
Yeah, which we'll get to some of those movies at some point.
Hopefully.
Yeah, we can do rewinds.
Yeah, we can do rewinds. But yeah, 7.9 for me, 7.3 from Nico, and now we'll get into some spoilers just for the last part of this podcast. the major spoiler here, sorry, spoilers if you're listening, cut it off. The major spoiler, I think, is when you find out. So Nicole Kidman, who plays Omelette's mom, what's her name? Queen Gudrun. I don't know how to pronounce it. Whatever. It's Omelette's mom. He from the beginning is like, okay, I need to save my mother because the man that kills his father kidnaps his mother.
Or so you think.
But then she reveals to him, which we think that this is true, or she actually wanted this. She wanted Omelette's father to die. So
she's like, yeah, I was begging on my knees for your uncle to kill your father.
Yeah.
Something.
So maybe I think I liked that decision for the story of this, because that did make me question as you know, after watching that full first hour and a half ish, like, you are sort of on the side of Omelette, and you're like, I like this guy. I want him to get his vengeance. And then after a certain point, you're like, well, maybe Omelette's father was not that good of a guy after all. And like, the people of this village don't actually seem to be that unhappy with, it's actually Omelette's dad's brother that kills him. He's the like ruler of this village, and apparently like, he seems like a good guy. Like, honestly, he doesn't seem like that bad of a guy. I think.
Your dad? My
dad, yeah. The main villain,
the main
of this
antagonist,
movie. Yeah.
The Bill.
So that sort of like brings another human element into him, like, and sort of for me that put his actions into perspective too. Like, he did seem to, like, he wasn't a great guy obviously, but like he seemed to like have a more human element, and so like giving that human element to the villain was cool. Like, her, because sort of that makes a big turning point for Omelette too, because his mom has just told him, like, I actually didn't like your dad. I think that you're like I am glad he's dead. I don't know why you want vengeance. Like, I'm happier now. And so that for him like puts a big like, oh shit, like, do I kill my mom, or like, do I, you know, like, what should I do? Like,
right.
But he still ends up going through with it, which I don't know. I think.
Yeah, did you like how he just slayed his brother-in-law
with
one sword stroke?
Yeah,
as he tried to jump on him and stab him.
Yeah, he just kills these he kills both of his half-brothers.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then in the end he does kill his mom because he decides he wants vengeance. I think the reason he makes the decision is because he ends up getting Olga pregnant, right? So
yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So he gets Olga pregnant, so he sort of that was the other sort of twist that I liked. I think really the third act just was good for me because it was like, Olga tells him, "Hey, I have your kids inside of me right now."
She says, like, I'm gonna bear your children. Whatever.
So like, you can like let this thirst for revenge just burn out, or you can go kill the guy. And he decides to go kill he decides to go kill the man that killed his father. Like, he makes a decision.
She's like, you choose one or the other, and then he goes, I'll have both, and then he just jumps off the boat. And
yeah, so that all culminates in a, you know, he decides, I think, while his father's killer is still alive, his kids won't be safe, so he wants to kill that guy still, and he ends up getting in a final battle, which was actually really, really cool. I thought, like, a final battle at the gates of hell, like, in this volcano, like,
it was cool, but like, I don't know, it seemed a bit over the top.
You didn't like it?
I was just thinking, like, do people not understand how hot volcanoes are if you're just standing right at the brim of it?
Yeah, but like, this type of movie needed that epic.
Yeah. And then I tried to think of it like, oh, this is just the Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, it did remind me of that. It was Revenge of the Sith, but with swords instead of lightsabers.
Swords and naked.
Yeah, and naked. Oh yeah, they were just fully naked, which was interesting.
Which I learned they were using CGI genitals for this film.
I mean, that's pretty awesome.
For that scene.
Yeah. But that scene, I don't know. That scene, I think I like that scene a lot more. I thought the ending of the movie was pretty epic.
It was pretty good. No,
Yeah.
I agreed. It was cool. It was cool. They had the whole Valhalla thing.
Yeah.
Where you see his character, you see his soul, you see his...
Yeah, I think that's...
whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know what you would call it, but you see it kind of ascending up the steps into Valhalla, and I wasn't a fan of the like very end where they just cut it right before he gets into it.
Yeah, there's a little bit of ambiguity at the end of this movie.
It's pretty certain he just dies.
Yeah, well, so they both die. They end up killing each other simultaneously in that final battle. Like
glorious fashion.
Yeah, he slices his head off and then takes a sword through the chest. So yeah, I mean that's this movie. Like those are all the major plot points that we just spoiled. If you're listening still, if you haven't seen it, but like it was good. I think I would have liked it if the story would have had a little more depth to it, a little more. I don't know. I don't even know the right word for it. It's just like it was a.
Yeah, I can't say I felt totally satisfied.
Yeah, it was not satisfying.
It was a good film, but I mean, I don't know.
It's not like a story that I'm gonna remember and be like,
no.
Wow, that was really cool. Like the way he just decided to still go kill the guy after. Like I don't know. I almost thought it would have been more interesting if he decided to give up on his revenge.
Yeah, I figured, he's gonna die, and
that's exactly what happened. Yeah. So like I think the twists were cool, and I think they could have gone a more interesting direction. But personally, I was just like, well, I mean, if you're still sticking for historical accuracy, yeah, the dude's probably gonna want to go kill and get his revenge. But like, it wasn't that satisfying of an ending, in my opinion.
No.
But the movie's really visually cool. If you've seen The Lighthouse or The Witch, I haven't seen The Witch, which is Eggers' first film. You probably know what to expect visually coming into this, which honestly, I will say, like, just mini Lighthouse review. I mean, I'm not going to give it a score or anything, but like Lighthouse, I sort of had the same issues with. Like, it was cool. It was interesting to watch Pattinson and Dafoe just, ham it up in their weird accents. But like, other than like visual shock and like some weird, descent into madness type story turns that were interesting just because of their just over the top crazy shit, there wasn't a ton of story substance that left me satisfied with that movie either. Like that movie was just like, oh well, that looked cool and it was a little bit insane, but like I don't know, it wasn't like groundbreaking or anything.
But they keep saying what for 3 pages of the script.
I mean, that's a bold move, but I think
I
it
still need
worked.
to see that. But you think that was a good movie?
I think it worked. I thought it was good. I mean, if I had to give it a score, I would probably give it a similar score, maybe even lower than what I give The Northman, just because I thought The Northman was more epic, and I liked that, and I thought it was well done with that stuff. But yeah, that's my review of that. Any other final thoughts on this movie?
I mean, I don't know. I think we missed the one scene where Willem Dafoe goes, "Witness the rise of the Northman," and that was kind of our whole joke going into this movie.
We witnessed the rise.
We witnessed a rise.
We witnessed a rise.
A rise. I don't know. Which, now thinking about it, did they mean like the rise to Valhalla? Could that be what
deep.
It was?
That is deep.
Right?
That's deep shit right there. That is fucking deep.
Isn't it? I mean, I'm somewhat of an intellect myself. But like, I don't know. It was a good movie. I didn't know what to expect. I was expecting maybe a little bit more. But you're right. It seemed a bit predictable. He's like, oh, I'm going to go get revenge. And then I instantly knew. I was like, okay, he's dying. Yeah. He's gonna die. It's supposed to be some epic fashion. He's dead.
From the 2 Eggers films I've seen, that's kind of been my takeaway. Like, they're epic, they're cool, but like the next step is to like have a little bit more of an intriguing plot.
What was the thing with the wolf?
Oh yeah,
Like, he just randomly befriends this dog.
I
like
don't know that.
This wild wolf or fox. I couldn't tell what it was.
I think that might have been some sort of connection to rituals, because they did, like, the men in this movie all act like wolves at certain points for some reason.
Yeah, like him and his dad, they drink water out of a bowl at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
But like,
that was funny.
And they were like just barking at each other, but like, and I'm
farting
like,
and burping.
Yes, like on all fours, and this is not a joke. They were actually barking at each other.
Yeah, I didn't know how to react to that. That was the first scene we saw going in.
Yeah, but like, do you think? Oh, we didn't mention how he gets this sword.
Oh, that was cool.
There was this scene. So everything seems like it's all based in some realism to some extent.
Yeah.
And then there's just this random zombie skeleton thing that's guarding this sword or holding this sword, and he goes to retrieve this sword, and then the skeleton comes to life and starts like beating him up, and then he kills it, whatever. But then you actually see that it's just his like imagination. He's like probably super paranoid, thinking, oh, if I grab this sword, it's going to come to life and I have to be ready. So then he just like snatches it real quick.
Yeah, that was really cool.
It was a cool like daydream sequence kind of thing.
Just the way that was shot was really cool. There's a lot of like one take shots in this movie that are really cool. I will say that. So visually, really, really cool movie. Well acted. Historically accurate, allegedly. I mean, I can't say that it was or wasn't. But
you're not a Northman.
I'm not a Northman. But it was good. It was good. We liked the movie.
Yeah, so we recommend it, right?
We recommend it, yeah. I would say we both recommend it. That's the Northman review. We may see the new Nick Cage movie next week. I know it just released, but I'm sure nobody's rushing to the theaters to see it. So we'll have probably a review out on, I think it's The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. So that'll be our next review. So look forward to that. But yeah, thank you for listening. We'll see you guys next time.